Hard facts.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
The news comes at you fast.
America's Food and Drug Administration have said that Trump was incorrect.
There's information and misinformation.
Their own NAFDAC came out and told Donald Trump, "We're gonna be waiting me where you talk. Now you talk and with by yourself. But that is okay."
And making sense of it can be hard.
Coyote, I will let you talk. Coyote, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Coyote.
But that's my job. Let's talk context. Let's talk statistics.
What about those bills at the Senate right now?
Let's talk to the experts and the newsmakers.
I see the kind of stability that would allow growth to happen by this time next year.
Every weekday at 3.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
Let's talk hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: we've crossed the 20,000 mark in Nigeria. Over 20,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Worldwide, we are at 8.9 million. In fact, the WHO said yesterday we had the highest single-day increase in cases so far. So, I beg, as you come out today, just, do yourself a favor. Try and protect yourself. Wash your hand, mask up, keep your distance. Wash your hands, sanitize your hands. And when you get home, destroy your mask if it's a disposable mask. The Ghanaian government, by the way, is saying sorry to Nigeria. Did you hear? You talked about it on the show with Agogo today. Somebody demolished a building at our High Commission in Ghana. There are conflicting stories about what happened, but basically somebody knocked down a building on Nigeria High Commission land. And Nigeria protested, and now Ghana is saying, sorry about that. We're investigating to get the facts. Kind of like what I do for you here every day, isn't it? I have a great show for you. We're starting with the big three. We'll talk about the Edo State APC Guber primaries, and then we'll talk about the latest in COVID-19 news from around Nigeria. And then let's talk about isolation center doctors in Lagos threatening a strike over PPEs. Now, remember, you can talk to us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Share your thoughts on the topics via Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. You can share your thoughts via Facebook as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Today is Monday. We're bringing you Checkpoint, and we'll talk more about COVID-19 on Checkpoint. Specifically, Chukwudi is looking at the Lagos State government's strategy for fighting COVID-19. On today's Big Hard Fact, let's talk some more about the Edo State Guber election and the situation in the APC and the PDP. I'm going to have two very knowledgeable guests to break the issues down. So look forward to that conversation at 5 p.m. After the news at 6 today, I'll hand you over to Rufai for conversations with Rufai. There'll be news updates for you at the top of every hour. We're going to have just a minute, so you need to look out for when that's going to happen. And the way to do that is to listen to every minute of every hour of Hard Facts. Let's bring you the big three.
This is the Big Three
The big three.
On Hard Facts.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
What makes our party politics so chaotic? Do you know? Are state governments handling COVID-19 effectively? What needs to be done to ensure our medical workers are protected? Those are your big three. Let's talk. The Edo APC primaries are on right now, but the confusion isn't over. That's our first story. Victor Giadom has written to INEC to say the primaries should not hold because the primaries are illegal. I told you about Giadom last week, right? He says that he's the rightful acting APC national chairman. But some members of the National Working Committee say that he's not the acting chairman. He's not the rightful one. And so they're in court. One court has ruled in Giadom's favor, but another court has told Giadom to stop parading himself as chairman until they make a ruling. So it's like even the courts are divided on the matter. Huh? Now, this is not the only confusion about this primary, by the way. The NWC, they set up a committee to oversee the primary. They named Hope Uzodinma, the Imo State governor, as chairman. But the Edo State APC ESCO said nope. They are saying that they do not recognize the committee because it wasn't set up by Giadom. They insist that Giadom is the court-mandated acting chairman. But end there. The NWC is ignoring this Edo State ESCO because according to them, it's a factional ESCO. Yeah, there's so much going on. But if you are keeping score at home, let me summarize it for you. The APC has at least 2 factional ESCOs in Edo State, both of whom are claiming to be the real ESCO. One of those ESCOs is rejecting the primary committee set up by the National Working Committee. There are currently 4 chairmen of the party. Adams Oshomole, the suspended chairman. Abiola Jimobi, the acting chairman who is sick and needs an acting chairman. Victor Giadom, who claims to be the acting chairman. One court ruling says that he is, but an order from another court says he is not yet. Hilad Etta, who the NWC has named as acting chairman. That's a summary of what's going on with the Edo State primary. Etta sent Hope Uzodinma to conduct primaries, while Giadom wrote to INEC that the primaries should not hold. So that's what's going on. So that's the APC situation in a nutshell. It's not a movie, it's real life. And they're choosing a governorship candidate today. Possibly. When I was listening to Agogo's show, he was talking to a journalist who said, he's been on the ground. Ize Yamu is in an early lead. People are maintaining social distancing. There's buckets of water for people to wash their hands, etc., etc. So that's what's happening there. Now, you already know that the current governor, Godwin Obaseki, has defected to the PDP, right? Along with the local government area chairman, the House of Assembly members. And the defections are not happening only in Edo State. We have in Ondo as well, the deputy governor who has also defected from the APC to the PDP right before the primaries there. Did you hear about that? Agbola Ajayi. And by the way, over the weekend, he went viral. If you are watching us on Facebook, we're going to play a video for you that went out on social media where we've got police in Government House trying to stop him from leaving the Government House.
Sir?
The government house.
So what is your duty on those things?
They're not saying you should not go out.
That's what you are doing now, not even this boy. It is you that is doing the CP.
You're already defecting. That's what
It's even that is doing it now, not anybody.
No, you're already defecting.
How?
Even your letter was brought to me this evening.
That what?
That you are doing it on Monday.
So if I
What the government is
so if I do it, are you not a excuse me, please, are you not a police officer? It's not officer. If I'm leaving a place on that, what's your concern about? Are you an APC chairman? Are you the PDP chairman? You know how many hours I spent there?
To the issue.
I don't understand. That the governor, a kind of even attached to me. I personally pay for this vehicle, not even government. If you maybe don't know.
And they said no.
That is the reason why you should have put yourself in this mess, because it's totally mess now. Why will police be used for God's sake? My brother, let me tell you, you people cannot repeat what happened at 83 in Edo State today. And it's unfortunate that you want to use the police to cause it, or those people will resist you with everything, with your emperor.
That was Agbola Ajayi, because right before he defected, there was a video circulating on the internet of police in the Government House stopping him from leaving. Now, we have a statement from Ajayi's media aide about that particular incident. That statement reads, quote, "We could not leave the Government House for several hours yesterday as they refused the Deputy Governor to pack his personal belongings. At a time, the Deputy Governor had to ask the position of the Commissioner of Police in this matter because the way he acted was just too low of him as a public officer." End quote. Now, when you call, you tell me what you think about that. A police commissioner allegedly stopping an elected deputy governor from moving his property out of government house. But yeah, as these primaries get closer, the drama gets louder. Back in Edo, Obaseki is a PDP member now. Now, he's not going to get an automatic ticket for Thursday's primary, and one of his opponents has even refused to step down, Kenneth Imaswabon. He says Obaseki should step down for him, not the other way around. After all, he was in the party first, and he was in the race first. So right now, party elders are trying to figure out a compromise before Thursday. Now, I'll be watching how that goes, and I'll let you know as soon as we know something fresh. But see all the chaos. See all the chaos. My God. What do you think of all this chaos? Will the chaos in the APC affect their primaries and their chances of winning Edo and Ondo? What do you think about the Commissioner of Police in Ondo stopping the Deputy Governor's car in Government House? And what do you think about Obaseki's challenges in the Edo PDP? 0700-993-993-993 0700 993 993. Send us a WhatsApp message. Why don't you? WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Hello.
Hello?
How are you? What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ekwesili.
Ezekwesili. How are you?
Correct, babe. My name is Chine.
Welcome to the show, Chinoye.
My sister. This is just what they call, there's one English I want to speak.
Okay.
This is what they call political kinkum kankum. That is to say, Iggy Haga. These people will not kill somebody. Just look at how your elders are misbehaving, doing like children. Why would you be stopping him? I don't know where he's going to. Does he get Corona drivers? I'm waiting for you to stop him. Why would you stop him? You see what we are saying? Mm-hmm. That man, the person that is stopping him, they gave him authority to stop him. And that's nonsense. That's nonsense for me. But it's good as they stopped him. As they stop, I'm supposed to stop to obey first. Okay. Because they always tell us the citizens to obey our governor or to obey our head. True of us. I believe that thing is from the head. You should obey.
Okay.
You go make they do their self. Make they do their self. That's because they are disgracing their self. Obaseki. Just imagine person name Obaseki. Just they move their self. They disgrace their self. Who do Nigeria this thing? You see what they saying, my sister? Ekwesili. Ekwesili. I like this your name. You actually see this laugh, oh they laugh. Now so go they laugh and they go. Now so at night they talk now. Them go call now. Them go call. Now this your brother will go now. We said us do show finish. Come on, somebody give report of what he saw. What he saw. There were some people were calling saying that he's talking as if he's PDP's APC member. Just imagine the kind political brain. People papa and they call, they talk all this kind of thing.
All right, Chinoye, thank you for calling me. I always crack up when Chinoye calls me. 99.3, hello.
Yeah, good day.
How are you? What's your name, sir?
My name is Ugo Chukwu calling from Lekki.
Ugo Chukwu, do you think this chaos in the APC in Edo will affect the primaries?
Yeah, we're not tired of political brouhaha. It has always been like that over the years. So it's not a new thing. They watch everything leaning in public always. They continue.
Why is this something that continues to happen? I know you say it's not a new thing, but why is that the situation here? Why is that the case with Nigerian politics?
Because it's no longer a service. It's a money-making business. So it's a business. It's not a service anymore. They are the masters and we are the servants. Nigerian people, they are not coming to serve everybody. That's why they can afford to do whatever they like and in the name of dragging. as much as they can. Well, Nigeria will not die in their hands. Nigeria will continue to remain, no matter how they eat it. If it is said they eat remain, fine. If it is head they eat remain, fine. We'll continue to move on until God answer our prayers.
Okay, all right.
They have succeeded in keeping many people below poverty level. So nobody can fight them. They are the one that has every magic to, tell the country the way they want.
But it is your country, isn't it? It's the country that that you're leaving for your children. Are you content to just say, "What's we gonna do?" Then Sabi.
Don't they have human hearts? Don't they have their own thinking? Don't they have children who belong to this country too? What do they think about the future of their own children?
I see. Thanks for calling me, Ugochukwu. Hello.
President Sandra.
How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. This is Chris.
Chris, good afternoon.
Thank you, my brother. You see, like and my sister. Oh my God, my president. Sorry.
Okay.
One thing I don't like about the supporters of this government, they refuse to tell them the truth. And when you try to tell them, look, you people don't have internal democracy, they will call and start attacking you. I tell the man that marketed this ruling party to Nigeria, Lai Mohammed, then, say, sir, you don't have internal democracy. I say, no, what do you mean by that? I explained to him. These are no go green syndrome that they have in their party. Will not do them any good. Today, look at where they find themselves. They believe, some of their supporters believe it's only that party. If you mention any other party, they want to chop your head off, which is wrong. What is the meaning of democracy, President Sandra? Like all these Buhari are happening now. Like our auntie Chinoya will say, kuru, whatever. They never see anything wrong in what is happening. If you try to tell them, look, this thing is wrong, do it this way. I said, no, you are in opposition because the other party lose. Like the man said, they don't have shame. Even the man they presented today, I know what the former chairman said about him. One Auntie Philomena said something. The guy was jumping up and down. Where is him? Let him jump now. Those are supporters where they hail him that time. I tell them this guy is a bad product for this party. When I call him to order, they say, no, he never talk like a leader. Here you now, President Sandra. Do you think I call you president for nothing? Leader, they say we leaders should talk. So for APCO, these are not go green syndrome. Let them continue. The other ones where they expect such thing to happen in PDP, it will never happen because those are matured men.
Oh, no.
Thank you, President
it is actually happening in the PDP. The PDP is not exempt, but today the APC is in the spotlight. We've got on Facebook, is Nigeria cursed? Why is it difficult for Nigerians to stand up and reject bad government? These evil people called politicians continue to suffer us, and we are not rising up to fight. Joshua Derinde says that he's from Edo and he's going to vote neither APC nor PDP. Also on Facebook, Chukwemeka Igbenegbu says, I've always known that APC is a scam. That's the reason they stopped us from saying our mind. Calling every word from us hate speech. We've got Mimi Sams who says, it's only in Nigeria you see rubbish happening and you will not say. Emmanuel Chike says the APC is a sinking ship that is at the edge of collapse. Chigozie, okay, all right then. We've got other comments that we're going to take a look at off of Facebook eventually. Now, for our second story, let's look at how COVID-19 is affecting different states right now, right? Let's take a step back from the politics. But yes, when you call, you can still talk to me about the politics. Let's start with Rivers State. Governor Nyesom Wike has ordered a lockdown in 2 towns in Rivers State, One and Bonny. Now, this is a big deal because One is a major port for oil and gas products, and Bonny is a gas hub with an NLNG plant. But Governor Wike says that it had to be done. Lots of confirmed cases in those 2 towns. Serious community spread. And Wike didn't stop there. He said if the infections in the state continue to increase, he will start a total lockdown. Right now, Rivers State has 866 confirmed cases from 2,500 tests. So basically, 1 out of every 3 tests have come back positive. That's a huge number. So you can see why Wike is worried. He's saying it's going to get worse. He said, quote, "We must all brace up to the reality of having new infections and a couple of deaths in the coming weeks and months," end quote. And then he said, quote, "When we recognized that effective early response was key to preventing the virus from progressing deep, we introduced drastic measures to protect our citizens. Unfortunately, some people deliberately twisted our intentions, maligned our timely measures, and exploited the attendant temporary hardship on our people to further their selfish political drives," end quote. So Wike is saying that he acted early by locking the state down, but people complained and twisted his actions and applied pressure until he backed down. And I want to know a few things. First, do you agree with Wike? Do you agree that he did the right thing by locking down and that people willfully twisted the situation for politics? Second, what do you think about Wike basically admitting that he bowed to public pressure? Some people will say that that's a sign of a good leader. He listened to his people. But other people say bad leader. Because when it's a life or death matter, a leader should be able to stand up and tell his people that they are wrong. Which one do you think it is? 0700-993-993. But before you answer, let's look at some other states are doing. Yeah? Wike is not the only one who's taking more drastic action. Ogun State has ended its plan to reopen worship centers the same way that Lagos did. They had 6 more deaths last week. So Governor Dapo Abiodun said, no way, churches and mosques will remain closed. And then the police command in the state said something very remarkable. They said, any pastor or imam who holds services considered to be willfully spreading COVID and arrested. What do you think about that? They basically say, you all know the risks. You know that COVID-19 will kill some people. So choosing to open your worship center is choosing to put people's lives at risk. That's the position of the Ogun State Police Command. What do you think about that? Meanwhile, here in Lagos, the Commissioner of Health is saying that runaway patients are spreading the virus. Professor King Abayomi. He said it before, and he's saying it again. According to him, lots of people who test positive go into hiding. Remember, a lot of them get tested before they are admitted, right? So, for instance, if I test positive, as Sandra Ezekwesili, if I test positive and I am taken to the isolation center, they will now ask me to list my contacts. So I tell them, oh, I met Sheriff and Collins Teke. They will now go and meet Collins and Sheriff and test them. But they're not going to take them to isolation yet until the results come back. Because what if they're negative, right? You cannot isolate everybody. But then, according to Abayomi, when they now call Sheriff or they call Collins to let them know that they have tested positive, Sheriff may come in, but Collins may run away. Meanwhile, Collins is infecting people. So what Abayomi is saying is, this is a major reason why the virus is spreading. And I wonder if you agree with that. Do you think it's people who are running away from testing that are spreading the virus? Or do you think it's what Chikwe Hekwazu said last week, that we simply have many unknown cases because we are not testing enough? 0700-993-993. So different stories from different states. Was Wike right to say that he lifted the lockdown due to political pressure? Do you think it's good leadership that he did that, listening to the people? Or do you think it's bad leadership, bowing to pressure to do the wrong thing? What do you think about the police in Ogun threatening to arrest any cleric that opens a worship center? And what do you think about Abayomi saying that runaway positive cases are spreading the virus in Lagos? 0700-993-993-993. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
99.3. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
My name is Uche.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Well, I'm calling from Navy Town.
Okay, welcome. I have 2 stories so far. Which one do you want to talk about?
Uche.
Which one do you want to talk about?
For this weekend issue. Yeah, that is a leader. He's acting as a leader.
Okay.
The action where he takes is the normal action.
Okay.
So I welcome him.
Okay.
I approve the action. Well done.
Okay, well done. Thank you for calling. 99.3. Hello.
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 Ezekwesili.
How are you?
Good afternoon.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Ruben, calling from Ipaja.
Ruben, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me start from Edo APC.
Okay.
The question is whether the crisis in APC is going to hinder their chances of winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell you that is not a question to APC as a party.
Okay.
Because they know that they are going to deploy the federal might to rig the election. Don't forget, Adam Oshemule, in many fora, he has always said that any member of APC that left APC is going to be punished. They did that with Dino Miller. You can check a lot of those things there because the event that has happened in the past, understand, will tell us the kind of a character that APC is. So the problem of whether they are going to win the election or they are having they know that they are going to rig the election. Whether it is broad daylight or however, if it was not so, the president himself, as integrity as they used to sing about, he knew the loophole in the electoral process, and that is why he refused to sign the amended electoral act that would have given a little level of credibility. Is that not the same tactics and the same strategy that he used to win 2019 election that they are still using now? Nothing has changed, and they know what it has started in those states. We just play a video there to show how the security they are already taking sides. Those are all the appendix of APC. There is no government in Nigeria. The army, the district, all of them, they are APC.
But this is not something that started with the APC. I remember when Goodluck Jonathan was president, this also happened in states where they had elections. Federal might was used, I remember.
But do you think, have you forgotten that the APC came to bring change? Is it a change or the status quo that we are?
Good question.
That is why they rose to power now. They say that they need change. And their slogan is change. So what has happened? Listen, it is just, I don't just want to say, but I will always say that just like you've always got, God is not going to help us until we as a people decide to take our destiny in our hands. Understand, to bring about the change that we need there. Nothing, these leaders we are seeing are. The Bible says that there is no strong man that is enjoying himself the good or other that will allow another person to dispossess him. It must be forcefully. Well, if you call it revolution, however they want to take it there, Nigeria must be better. And we must take our country back.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruben, for calling. A pleasure to hear from you. Let's talk to you. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
How are you, sir? What's your name?
Yeah, I'm fine. Comrade Taiwo Adesina calling from Badori, Aja.
Welcome, Comrade Adesina. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let me start from Ondo. What paid me from that clip from Ondo is that the deputy governor did not allow their commissioner of police to express or to let us know what exactly is their mission.
Okay.
If you notice it, it's only the voice of a deputy governor that we are listening to.
We also had the what's it called now? The aide of the governor, the media aide of the deputy governor, who released a statement and said what was going on was that they didn't want him to leave.
You know, whatever we hear from that deputy governor's side is one side.
Okay.
The other side should be the one from the commissioner of police or the whatever officer, police officer that is there.
Okay.
So we all know politics, how it is used to be. And the challenge there is because of we always, individuals, we always have power than the institution in Nigeria. So I don't see how you can remain in a particular party and you will be in position in that party and you will be romancing with another party where you are still holding that position.
But that aside, Comrade Taiwo, does police have a right to stop a deputy governor at any time?
That is where the issue is. Actually, depend on what the excuse that the police give. We all know that as governor have immunity, the deputy governor also have immunity. So why did they have that power to go and stop him? And I still want for Nigerian police to explain that. So that is one, even though the deputy have issue. Let's leave that. Secondly, the Edo State matter, where everybody have right to their opinion. But Comrade Adam Oshiomhole, like we all know him from being a labor leader, till now, the guy has not changed. You understand me?
Okay, I'm trying to.
But till today, I have not seen where he did something that is outside the constitution of their political party.
Okay.
Whatever he's doing, the guy is always advocacy for party supremacy.
Okay.
And that is why he has problem in Ogun State. That is why he has problem in Imo State.
Okay.
What is always saying is party supremacy. When the political party in a particular state, they were saying this is what they want, and the governor as a leader also said this is what he wants, and the party is always divided into two. And it always go by what the majority of that party says. And we see what happened in Edo. We see what happened.
What if what the party wants is not for the good of the state? Should the governor put the party's desires above the good of the state?
Yeah, that is how it's supposed to be. The governor's supposed to be under the political party.
But what if what the political party wants is something the governor thinks will be bad for the state?
Let me give you an example of what happened in Ogun State.
Okay.
Okay? The governor is putting his own people, all the people that he believes that he have trust on. They are the only one that is given opportunity. The governor said he's the one to nominate who is going to be all the representatives of the House of Assembly there. The Senate there, he will be want to be the one that will, and also the governor there, he want to be the one that will nominate who is going to be the governor. And the other party, they said they want to do primary. Primary should be. And the governor said no. It's only one this party. It's either this person or no primary. And that is where they have the problem. And that is where the party now, they divide. And the chairman, Oshiomhole, now said, okay, go and do the primary. Whoever that won the primary. And they did the primary. The other guy, the governor now won the primary. And the other side, that governor said they leave the party to another party. And the governor is continue sponsoring them. And the chairman, the national chairman said, okay, we must be with the people who are still remain in the party. Did the national chairman have any issue on that? What I noticed is that all the governors, whether the governor or the president, once they are in power, they want to be the dictatorship for the party. No. And whenever we have people who have right-minded at the national affairs of handle the national affairs of the party, this is how it's supposed to be. They are not supposed to be under the governor. The party is supposed to be giving them, since they are not winning election on their own name. And all the political parties have their own ideology.
Let me ask you something. How come Oshomole seems to have so many of these quarrels that end with a divided state party? How come?
God bless you.
How come
God
other
bless
national chairmen have not had so many divisions under them? So I give you an example of John Oyegun.
Let me just tell you the reason why for that. It's a matter of wherever the sugar is that the ants will be.
I don't understand.
You understand? Wherever the sugar is, you will see many ants surrounding the sugar.
Who is the sugar and who's the ant in the story? Who's the sugar? Who's the ant in this story?
God bless you. APC right now, before now, PDP was the sugar. Where everybody are fighting for position there because they know they were the one controlling the federal level. They are the one holding many states.
But John Oyegun was there before Shomole was there. This was not happening under John Oyegun. He was the chairman while Buhari was president.
Sincerely, what happened with John Oyegun is different from what is happening now. And the simple reason of John Oyegun then is what later led to his problem. You understand? Whatever those executives want, that is what John Oyegun wants. Party doesn't have stand.
So you're saying that Adams Oshomole is putting himself above the party? Is that what's causing the problems?
It's not Adam Oshomole. Adam Oshomole is standing that it is the position of the party. Okay, for example, see what happened with the constitution of their party. That in absence of a particular council chairman, the deputy chairman that come from the zones to take over. In absence of that deputy chairman, the vice chairman from geopolitical zones take over. You can see what the constitution says. And majority of the National Working Committee, among the 20 or 22 of them, 18 of them are in the position of what the constitution says. And we have 3 of them who say, no, this is the way they are going. You understand? Are we saying that the position of those, the majority of them, who goes with what their constitution says, are we saying that is Oshomole that is saying all those things?
All right, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Comrade Taiwo, for calling to share your insights into the conversation. I loved talking to you. Adedeji Nikorodu says, APC needs to show a way out to some bad eggs within the party. I don't know how Deputy Secretary will put himself in position of acting chairman. Concerning Giadom, if election should not hold, okay, so when should party organize primary election? The River State APC should show a way out to Giadom. The man is a confusionist to the party. Concerning Edo chairman of APC, you need to ask him when it is time to organize primary election, when the deadline is approaching already. It means everybody is just saying whatever he or she likes. Adedeji, thank you for sending your message in. WhatsApp is 080-959-5805. Ezine says, what Governor Nyesom Wike did was right by locking down, but what he did wrong was succumbing to what the people said. This is a matter of life and death, and it should not be toiled with. As a good leader, he should do what he knows will safeguard the lives of the people in his state. Grandma Princess says, as for Ondo State, the deputy governor and the police commissioner, I may be wrong, but I think the police was trying to stop the governor packing away APC official properties, which is what many of them do when leaving office. And the succeeding governor will have to start buying new properties, thus wasting money when he should have used the ones already which were taken away. All right, Grandma Princess, thanks for sending your message in. COVID-19 is real and spreading like wildfire. The earlier we take responsibility to stay safe by adhering to all the safety rules and measures, the better for all of us, Ernest from Ejibo says. What happened in Ondo State is nothing but a show of shame from the side of security agencies. The police should not allow themselves to be used by politicians who are after their own selfish interests. Moreover, the deputy governor and every other Nigerian has the right to freedom of association as enshrined in the Constitution. APC should put their house in order because I foresee no APC come 2023 if the rift in the party is not checked. All right. It's 18 minutes to 4. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Ezekwesili. We've brought you through 2 stories so far. I told you that so much chaos is happening with the Edo State primaries. Yes, indeed. Today, they did their Guber primaries. The APC held their Guber primaries. I also told you about how the different states in Nigeria are handling COVID-19. And I wonder if you think state governments are handling COVID-19 effectively. For our final story, doctors who are working for the Lagos state government will strike in 3 weeks if they don't get PPEs. I've actually been following this story for a while. If you go back to the week when the NMA went on strike over police treatment, I also talked about this. You remember? I told you about patients in isolation centers complaining that doctors and nurses were not attending to them because of no PPEs. I told you the isolation center doctors were not happy. And now it looks like they're ready to take action about that unhappiness. So this strike warning is from a group called the Medical Guild. They represent doctors who work for the Lagos state government. So the doctors in the primary health centers, the state referral hospitals, the state specialist hospitals, and LASUTH. And they are saying that they're going to go on strike in 3 weeks because they don't have PPEs, they don't have proper arrangement for their welfare, and they're not included in decision making. These are their 3 complaints. No PPEs, no proper arrangement for their welfare, they're not included in decision making. Now, we're still waiting for a response from the state government. It's going to be very interesting to hear what they say. The state already has a shortage of doctors. So losing all the public service doctors during a pandemic, at a time where Lagos is the epicenter of this virus, you know how easy you are. We've seen so many strikes and protests by medical workers since this pandemic started. Just now, resident doctors started a nationwide strike, but Femi Gbajabiamila and other officials intervened, and they've suspended that strike for now. But if you look at all of these strikes and these protests and these partial strikes, they mostly have the same complaints. No PPE, no hazard allowance, or hazard allowance is too low, or it has not been paid in months, no life insurance, no proper equipment. And when you x-ray these complaints, they mostly boil down to one thing. The money that is supposed to go into healthcare is not going into healthcare. Money no dey reach ground. That's the problem. So what's the solution? Because you know how we are on hard facts. I always want us to go beyond complaining to try and figure out how to fix a broken system. Right? So what's the solution? In Nigeria, whenever we want a government office to get their money, regardless of what the executive or the legislature is doing, we talk about the first line charges, right? And statutory transfers. So you look at INEC, for example, their money is a statutory transfer in the budget. And so whenever the government gets money, the first alert automatically goes to INEC, no matter what. That way, INEC's money is always complete. And INEC doesn't have to wait for the president or the National Assembly to approve its money. Same thing with UBEC. Statutory transfer, first line charge. That money comes out first. It's like when you have a direct debit order with your bank. Maybe you're paying a susu somewhere, or you are doing some contribution somewhere, and you just have some, as soon as money enter your account, that money could just come up. Pew! And it's making me wonder, what if money for medical equipment in our hospitals and hazard allowance for our doctors and our nurses were made a first-line charge in the state budget? What if it were made a statutory transfer so that every month, no matter what, the first money that government pays out is the money for our hospitals? What do you think? Do you think that this will help us avoid situations that we've been seeing throughout this pandemic, where the medical staff are going unpaid and are under-equipped or unequipped in some cases? Tell me your thoughts. 0700 993 993 993. How do we get government to provide for medical personnel no matter what? I've given you one possible solution. Tell me what you think about that solution, and then tell me your own solution. Why does this continue to happen? Why do all Nigerian governments at all levels keep owing medical workers? Why? WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. You can also tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM and share your thoughts on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Harry. I'm calling from Shasha.
Good to have you on the show, Harry.
Sandra, it's tragic that the doctors in Lagos of all places, the epicenter of the epidemic in Nigeria, have to be going on strike because of PPEs. Sandra, for a long time, what we've been practicing is misgovernance at every level, every tier, including in the supposed center of excellence. Sandra, is it not common sense? Is it not common sense that as soon as the epidemic hit, that the Lagos state government would have taken a census of its doctors, its nurses, lab attendants, and all of the people who work in government hospitals, taking a census of them and delivered PPEs, not one, not two, but at least 3 to each of them, because let's face it, at the end of the day, all of them are going to be involved in the fight. As in, isn't it common sense that they would have received at least 3 PPEs each, sometime in March at least? So we know that, okay, that part is covered. There's so many common sense things that we do not do in this country. So many.
Why do you think that is? Because you say it's common sense. Harry,
yes,
you and Sandra...
I'm not a medical professional.
Exactly. So you and Sandra are not the only common sense people in Nigeria. I have to believe that there is at least one person or 2 or 10 that have common sense in the government.
See, Sandra, I'm going to have to expand this issue, and you forgive me, but I'll try to keep it to limited. Sandra, it's because at the end of the day, we don't have the smartest people in public service, whether appointed or elective. We don't have the smartest people in civil service. We don't have them at all. I always like to use the football analogy. Sandra, are you sure a team that has both Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi in its forward line will win a match every time if all backmen, that's defenders, are notorious for scoring own goals, and if their goalkeeper has are you sure they will win?
Good question.
No, I'm asking you, as it's not a rhetorical question. Think about it. In a minute, you will come up with the answer. They have Cristiano Ronaldo, they have Messi in their lineup, but all of their defenders, all 4 of them, are notorious for scoring own goals in every match, and their goalkeeper has one arm. That's how we've been living. Because let's face it, our commissioner of health in Lagos has to be about the most brilliant commissioner of health, indeed minister of health I've ever heard of in this country. But can you say the same of the nurse that you will meet at the Orisumbari Health Center? You're laughing. It's true now. That's where the problem is. It's in the entire public service value chain that we should have the most brilliant minds. But we don't have it. We will have one brilliant mind, maybe as governor, maybe as commissioner, maybe as SA, and the rest are less than average. I don't want to use derogatory words, but you know how I mean. That's the problem with every tier of government, because even at the highest office in the land, you and I cannot compare the number 2 man to the number 1 man. But unfortunately, because we're tragic people, we will always vote that number 1 man as opposed to the number 2 man, who everybody knows has marbles. Sandra, I'll go leave her for there. I may not talk too much. Maybe your other callers will call. Thank you.
Harry, thank you for calling me. Always a pleasure to listen to you. 99.3.
Yeah, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
That the doctor just called off. He didn't cover Lagos State Medical Guild of, what did you call them? Guild
Medical Guild, that's it. Medical Guild. Medical Guild, that's it. Just Medical Guild. Hello? Oh, sorry about that. 99.3.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra.
What's your name, sir?
Have Ebuka on the line.
Welcome, Ebuka.
Just like the last caller before the one that called, or second to the last caller, was making my point. Common sense is not common because it's very hard to implement. You get, just like that, Messi and still another story. That's what is happening here because we can't implement things. We can't remove people that is not supposed to be there. You just always put electrician for carpenter, you get, and that's the problem. And we'll be watched. See finish, don't see us finish now. So everything want to do again. So it's very hard to apply common sense. Retire me.
Retire you, Ebuka. Thank you for calling me. 99.3.
Good afternoon, my dear.
Good afternoon, my brother. What's your name?
You are speaking with Chris.
Hello?
You are talking to Chris.
Chris, welcome to the show. How are you? Hello? What's going on? 99.3.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name?
Nice talking to you. This is my first time of talking to you.
Oh, fantastic. I love first-time callers. Kelvin, welcome.
I'm not the first-time caller.
Oh, well, first-time caller on my show.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, thank God. My name is Kelvin.
Welcome, Kelvin.
Yes, regarding your first story, I think personally the APC is completely fragmented.
Isn't that the story of every political party in Nigeria? The fragments.
Well, the best political party is not obvious now because they're not in power.
Yeah.
APC is in power both at the national level and some states.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very clear that they are fragmented and they did not learn from the calamities that before the PDP in their 16 years of ruling. And from what I'm seeing so far, it's just about power, power, power. Because they have a written constitution which everybody should, follow and align to. But because politicians being what they have decided to create their own truth and their own way of thinking. Naturally, at a time like this, the president, who's the leader of the party, should have come into this crisis and, try to resolve things. But the president, I know, does not intervene in things. He keeps aloof to major issues, even in the country, and it has boiled down also to the political party. They don't have ideology. If a political party like APC told us they have ideology, they will not accept some characters that came into their party after 2009 or before 2011 elections. There are so many people that have questionable characters who are even ministers now under the so-called anti-corruption parties, and they affected them because they don't have ideology. If you have ideology, you will not accept everything can have into your political party. So they are almost the same thing, best of the same feathers. They are almost the same thing. And I said it before that after 2023, the APC is going to collapse. Majorly at the national level, they are going to collapse completely because let's keep them together now. It's just that man there, that's the president. After he leaves office, I don't see the interest they have personally to destroy the party completely. And I'm disappointed in Adams Oshomole. You were suspended from your work. You didn't attack the issues from day one. I love what he did initially for cutting the wings of some governors who wanted to impose their sons and their own people into office. I love what he did initially, but he's progressing in error, and he did not help the party. So it's a shame. Why I'm worried is because they are the ruling party. Whatever, if they're not organized, if they're disorganized, it's going to affect us as a country. Secondly, regarding the Lagos State issue, I hope that the government, because since this issue of the COVID, he and the Commissioner of Health has been very, very proactive. They have done very well. If the governor of Lagos State was like some other governors that we know, even those that said that their state name was in the Bible,
or those that insist that it's not in their state at all.
If Lagos State governor was like them, I don't think we will be in serious trouble. But the Lagos State governor, and he has a fantastic man as a commissioner of health, they have done very well. They should meet this to the board. If they can create a special intervention fund for the health workers, they should do it.
Okay.
Because they require all they need to make sure that they do the best for us. Because the people, from what I'm saying so far, the cases are rising every day because we are simply becoming irresponsible as a people. People are not using the face mask anymore. People are not adhering to the social distance or physical distance, whichever terms you want to use for it. So the cases are increasing day by day, and it needs a very proactive government to nip this to the board. They should not allow it to happen. I believe they will not allow it to happen. They should nip it to the board, whatever they can do to raise funds, to whatever they can do to raise money, to settle, to pay these workers, and to make sure that they do the best they can do in terms of delivering services. Let them do it for us, please.
Thank you for calling me, sir. Pleasure talking to you. We'll talk some more on Checkpoint today. We'll talk about COVID-19. We'll look at strategies that the Lagos State government is employing to contain the spread. You think they spread anyhow, they go. At 5 o'clock, I'm going to have Ose Aneni on the show with me, as well as Monte Obani. And three of us will talk about this Edo situation. What's happening there? Which political party has what it takes to win the election? Which party is more prepared for the Edo State Guber election? That conversation will happen today at 5 p.m. Make sure you're here when it happens.